Tiger Woods is the greatest golfer of all time, and that wouldn't have happened without his parents. Their unique upbringing created an animal on the course, one who was primed to be the greatest thing for golf since the mulligan. However, that special upbringing required many things from young Tiger, potentially depriving him of some other luxuries that many of us take for granted. So for any parent maybe looking to build the next Tiger Woods, well, this is a story that all of you probably should know.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
It is my job to prepare you. I trust that I have done the best job that I can. I know you will give it your all, and that you will be my little man forever. Love, Pop.
A lot of parents have tried to raise kids to become incredible athletes, the next great things, and in some instances forced these children to take on challenges that they may otherwise not have been interested in. But that almost certainly wasn't the case for Tiger Woods. From a very young age, it was abundantly clear that he was in love with the game of golf. From everything I can read online, it seems that golf was always the one true love for Tiger, and looking at it at face value, that makes sense. His father was an avid golfer, so why wouldn't the son take to the same obsession of the father? Young Tiger apparently memorized his father, Earl's phone number so that he could call him from work and ask when he would play golf with him at 2 years old.
We have the 9 o'clock starting group, the youngest contestant ever. He's 5 years old, Eldrick Tiger Woods.
So it's clear that Tiger was never forced into this game, forced into this life like so many other people are in their lives. But it is clear that from a very early age, his parents created a very cutthroat plan for him to be the greatest golfer of all time. Whenever Tiger was on the course with Earl as a youngster and he duffed a shot, he would slam his club into the ground like we all do, but with some training from Earl, he learned to hold that back, manage those emotions on the course, to learn how to play angry. And honestly, that's something a lot of golfers could use today. Imagine Rory being able to play while he was fuming. Well, things could have gone a little bit differently for him. Earl and Tita took advantage of Tiger's excitement for this game and taught him and grew with him in a way that could create the sharpest sword, the fastest bullet, the best golfer in the world, and it worked. But they also molded a man who seemed very kind and thoughtful, at least at face value. His parents gave him professional media training from the start, as you saw him on TV at just 2 years old, so he always had the right answers to the correct questions and was seen as the golden boy of golf. He was perfect in the eyes of a lot of people. And that's not to say he wasn't a good person. And on the grand scheme of kids that get pushed to be the best, I guess he wasn't that bad at all. Whenever he was on the course, he would see fans and spend hours with them, taking photos, signing autographs, and being a role model for them. Was he ever the most charismatic guy in the room or on the course? No, probably not, but he was a good man and a good kid, and a lot of the thanks of that goes to his parents. Many other stage parents or coaching parents push their children to the limit to be the very best they can, to do too much. Hollywood has documented this many times, with a great example being I, Tonya, the story of figure skater Tonya Harding, who was easily one of the most talented skaters in the world at that time, but was also kind of allegedly ruined by her mother.
Stop talking to her. That girl is your enemy.
Her mother was very toxic towards her competitors and allegedly abused Tonya, leading to her looking for that in her own relationship, which eventually led to the downfall of her career when her ex-husband orchestrated an attack on one of her competitors. That is a wild story to get into if you ever have the chance, but the essence of it, all of that pushing, well, that can create a lot of toxicity. But Earl and Tita, in their pushing Tiger, or more of leading him on the path, well, they avoided a lot of that. Despite what the title of this video says and what I think a lot of people believe of Tiger's parents, well, Earl wasn't insanely domineering at all, and Tita wasn't wildly strict. They helped Tiger a lot, and they did set boundaries, but I think they were probably very good parents in helping him reach his goals that he very clearly wanted. However, I think in doing that, they also fell short elsewhere. Tiger always seemed to be a pretty shy and introverted person everywhere but on the golf course. There he thrived and was great. His parents witnessed that and helped him funnel that obsession into a powerful tool that would change the game forever. But because he was shy and introverted, the way they raised him, I think, had some unintended consequences on the person that Tiger Woods would become. The evidence of this, to me, starts when Tiger was in high school. According to his girlfriend during those years, Tiger was pretty quiet in school and didn't seem to have a lot of friends.
Because here at high school is where Tiger is at his most private self. It's here where he desperately wants to be like any other 17-year-old junior.
They met in math class, and Tiger one day invited her, Dena, to go to one of his golf tournaments where she was able to see a completely different side of Tiger. From there, they got to know each other a lot better. She helped Tiger open up, and Tiger, maybe for the first time in his life, got to witness what life was like for normal people. Those of us that aren't being molded into whatever machine their parents are trying to make them into. Dena had a loud family that was welcoming, while Tiger had a very quiet and focused home life. But when he went to Dena's, he could escape that a little bit. Dena gave him a glimpse of normality, and for the shy and quiet character that was Eldrick Tiger Woods, well, it was one of the few opportunities for him to actually experience that. She showed that to Tiger, and as he grew up, won all those amateur titles, well, she gave him an outlet, an escape from all of that noise. Eventually, Woods went away to college, did his thing yet again, all the while getting more and more popular than anyone else ever had. But then it all went wrong. One weekend after school, Tiger left Stanford to visit his girlfriend early and lied to his parents in doing so. The next day, when he went back to his parents' house and he saw them, he told them, and they were infuriated with him and never let him see her ever again. Tiger apparently wrote her a letter ending their relationship in the same way business writing professors today tell us all to address our managers: formal, impersonal, and heartless. At this time, Tiger was an adult, but he was incredibly obedient to his parents in a way that is very admirable, but it's in his obedience and his parents' orders that lost him his only outlet to normality, something that would only get further and further away from him over the next few years.
Tiger Woods Mania, the golf superstar.
Tiger Mania.
Tiger Woods Mania officially has arrived at the Copperhead course.
This is where Tiger Woods became Tiger Woods, where he embarrassed the field as a 21-year-old at Augusta National, set records at Pebble Beach in 2000, and became the most marketable athlete since Michael Jordan. When you reach that level, I cannot imagine there being an ounce of normality in your life, even for someone that was being prepared for that life from day one.
What has been the most difficult adjusting?
For me, the lack of privacy, the loss of privacy. And
all of that fame and nonsense can really get to someone's head, and it has gotten to plenty of famous celebrities' heads, but Tiger was different. He handled it well. Tiger was the golden boy of golf, the guy who could do no wrong. He was perfect in the eyes of a lot of people, and as we all know, that wouldn't last. In 2006, Earl Woods passed away. They had seen it coming for a while, as he had missed watching Tiger win the 2005 Masters due to his illness, but that doesn't mean it affected Tiger any less.
we loved each other so much on so many different levels. Our relationship was very unique and very different because we weren't just a father-son. He was my best friend.
I don't think that right there was Tiger thinking memorably about his father. I genuinely believe that Earl and Tita Woods were Tiger's best friends for a very large portion of his life, and then before that, the most important figures in his life. So when you lose that, well, you lose everything, and Tiger did. I think this entirely threw Tiger's world, his very curated life, into disarray. Around this point is where he allegedly began cheating on his wife, Elin. I want to make it very clear in this video, I will not be defending Tiger or his actions. They're inexcusable. I just want to understand why a character that was so good for so long did something so terrible to such an insane extent. Over the next few years, Tiger cheated on his wife a lot with a lot of different women. But despite what must have been an uncomfortable home life, Tiger was playing arguably the best golf of his life. He had a run from 2006 to 2008 that easily rivals the Tiger Slam from 2000. He was just as on top of the world as he had ever been, but on top of the mess he was creating in his personal life, his body also began giving up on him. Injuries riddled the end of his 2008 season, apparently winning the US Open that year with a torn Achilles and potentially a torn ACL. The guy was a walking hospital bill. With all those injuries, well, that came some prescription drugs and probably some abuse with that as well. His life at that point became so much different to what he was used to. Sometimes laid up somewhere healing, other days working out like a Navy SEAL for some reason, and still cheating on his wife, probably abusing prescriptions, and likely addicted to alcohol. All of that came to a head in 2009 when some of this information leaked to the public and everyone found out that Tiger Woods was cheating on his wife to such an insane extent. It literally broke the news and for many destroyed the reputation of the golden boy that was Tiger Woods. So many people that don't care at all about golf remember this scandal and only know Tiger now for it. But more importantly, why did Tiger Woods do this? The guy who was raised to be kind and thoughtful and considerate by his parents do something so inconsiderate. Well, the biggest thing to me, I think, is that when he was at home in his mansion with Elin and his security around him, well, he was Tiger Woods' golf extraordinaire. But with his mistresses in his car in a church parking lot, he was Eldrick, that same kid from high school doing what a lot of kids do. But Tiger never did. Back when Tiger lost his father, he lost his world, that safe space that was built to create the golfing machine. With that went the structure in his life, and he turned into a different character. But the reason I think there is more to this than Tiger just being a bad guy is that he came out and apologized at the peak of this mess. Yeah, it was scripted. Yes, it was hard to watch, but to me, this shows that he cared about the way kids idolized him. He tried to stand up and take ownership for all of it. Did it work? Did Elin end up forgiving him? No, but he tried. And that's a lot more than you can say for a lot of men and people who were in that situation. However, I think there's more explanation to this whole mess. Something maybe that could have kept all of this from ever happening. And that is where Tiger's high school girlfriend comes back into play. Again, she was his normality, his break from extreme focus, extreme perfection, and she was taken away from him. Sure, maybe you could argue Tiger deserved to lose her since he lied to his parents, or that he didn't care enough about her because he never tried to get her back, but I don't really agree. I think Tiger, just the way he was raised, was always going to be too obedient to his parents and was going to listen to what they say. And so it was up to them to let this happen. If they never put a stop to that relationship, who knows what could have happened. Now, I'm not saying they were bad parents or treated him terribly or anything like that. It's not their fault that he was shy and quiet, but it's in that he was shy and quiet away from the golf world that he would always have struggled away from that world unless he was exposed to something else by someone he cares about, like Dena. But his parents at one point took that away from him in one of his last moments he probably would ever have to be a little normal. I don't know if that would have kept him from cheating on his wife or making these mistakes, but as someone who has dealt with similar circumstances in my life and who has dealt with similar addictions, I sympathize and can't help but feel like things could have gone differently if he was allowed different experiences. Let me know what you think. I could be entirely wrong here, but thank you guys for watching nonetheless, and if you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. My next video is going to be a banger, but I'll see all of you guys in the next one. Peace.